So I am sick, nor my voice. I'm just trying to record videos because if I don't record certain videos, I'll get backlogged on what I need to record and not end up recording things, and that's a whole mess. And I hate when I do that. So we are going to do one of the last videos I need to record, then I can enjoy my week in peace. Toy Story. Yeah, I'm gonna review all the Toy Story movies, all 5 of them, before the new one comes out, Toy Story 5. Now you might be saying, what do you mean all 5 of them if you're not including Toy Story 5 in that? Well, we're gonna talk about Lightyear. Because I did review Lightyear when it came out, but I kind of want to do an updated review of that because it's been a few years and we've kind of let the movie sit with us and have its impact, and now I kind of want to discuss it again. But we're going to start with Toy Story, obviously. We'll do Lightyear last. Um, I went through an interesting phase with Toy Story where I used to love Toy Story as a kid, and then I grew up with older cousins, and they would tease me about liking things that were younger because I was very I was a goody goody little kid until my teenagers start to grow an edge a little bit. But when I was younger, I was a goody goody kid. I always played by the rules. I and so my dad wouldn't let me watch other things, even though it was pretty easy to sneak stuff. But yet, they just wouldn't let me do it. He was very strict, and it was really stupid. Like he wouldn't let me watch Revenge of the Sith for years because some kids get slaughtered in that movie, even though you don't see any of it, and it's all off screen, and it's all goofy, and would not have bothered me as a kid at all. But yet here we are. I wasn't allowed to watch it. That kind of stuff. I don't know why he was so strict about stuff. It was really silly, but so I was mostly watching younger kids stuff like Toy Story and things like that, which I was a big fan of. And then I went through a thing where I was being teased about it, and I stopped liking Toy Story for a long time. Uh, so I went through a long period where I hadn't seen these movies. In Toy Story 3, we saw in the theater as a group. I didn't really want to see it in the theater. Like Toy Story, that's for babies, and which is so silly because Toy Story 3 is a great movie, but I was not allowed to go see it in the theater, or I was not happy to go see it in the theater. That was the whole thing. But then I'm telling you this story because it relates to what I'm going to say about this movie. So then when Disney did their 100 years of movies and Toy Story played back in theaters for its 30th anniversary, I saw it both times, and I kind of realized, shit, this movie's actually way better than I remember because I hadn't seen these movies in so long because I was just got a phase where people shame me for what I like, and I really learned a lot from those kind of experiences as being a kid. I was just you see my room, you see the shit around me. I'm not ashamed of anything I fucking like anymore. But I used to feel that way. So I don't know, but rewatching the theaters really highlighted me. This Toy Story is, is kind of, I don't even know what to say about this movie that hasn't been said, right? Because it's probably I don't know, if you made a list of the top 5 most iconic movies ever made, Toy Story, the first Toy Story, be on it. Not Toy Story 2, not Toy Story 3, none of them would be on it. Just Toy Story. Little lines in this movie. This movie is also so important to film history of being the first CG animated movie. That's why the humans look so terrifying. And, but I still think the movie mostly holds up animation wise. You can still watch this movie and go, yeah, it's definitely dated, but I still get all the intended emotions. I've seen this with my cousins and stuff, and they're able to watch it just fine. They're not upset. They go, wow, that animation looks bad. No, they're fine. The movie's, the movie's message about change and what it means to lose your place and be afraid of that is something very powerful. Randy Newman's score and songs in the movie work really well. They're really great. It's just a good movie. It's a very funny movie too. I forgot that Joss Whedon, by the way, as much as we're not allowed to talk to him or talk about him, his writing in this movie is great, and he has some of the funniest lines in the movie that he wrote. You are a toy. You are a sad, strange little man. You have my pity. Farewell. That's a Joss Whedon line. You know, things like that. Very great stuff. Love this movie. So, yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite Toy Story. It's kind of the one I go back to at least. I feel like this is like the How to Train Your Dragon thing to me, where like the one I watched the least is probably the first one, because the first one just speaks for itself, and I don't feel like an instant drive to go back and see it that often. I feel the same about Toy Story. But the Toy Story I like the most, I'd have to think about. Well, we'll talk about some of those sequels later, but Toy Story, great movie. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.